What's up, everybody? Oh, I love this word.
All right, ladies and get it to me again. Come on there. Come on, Brittany.
Ah!
There it is right there. All right, what's happening, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, look at that.
Well, yeah, take it off.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's let me get control of that right now. Okay, we should be good. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode number 22 with All Angles Boxing and Combat Sports Channel. Your host, Dave Trujillo, here with our stream of hosts here. We got Omar Batts sitting in the middle. We got Art Carrasco sitting right next. We got Brittany under him. We got Caesar under Omar. And we got the champ, Red Hot Rob, sitting under Dave Trujillo. How's everybody doing?
Good, man.
Good. Blessed.
Great.
Right on. What a weekend of fights it was, and even last weekend we had some incredible fights as well. We're going to go right to this. Red Hot Rob is the man on the man on the in the burner right now. So, Omar, we're gonna start with you. You got any good questions for the champ coming back from his 3-year layoff?
Yeah, I heard you had a fight. We posted a bit of clips last time on the last show, so I was able to see a little bit last time. But how'd you feel going back in after that layoff? How was it?
I felt really good, man. Thanks for asking. I felt really good. A little rusty. I felt, I felt a little rusty. Yeah, I felt that 3 years.
You look good, man. From what I saw, you look good. It didn't even look like you took that long of a layoff off.
Yeah. Well, that layoff for like a year of that layoff, the beginning year from 2020 to 2021. I was, actually couldn't walk. I was had a big surgery, and so the first year, but within a year, I was on my feet again. And working and trying to get. I wasn't trying to fight again, but I was getting myself back up on my feet, pretty much. And then I found my way back to the boxing gym, and I've been coaching since then. I started coaching, and I never planned on getting back in the ring, but that coaching and being in the gym every day, all day, really. I don't know. And then I read the book of George Foreman's book, and man, it really inspired me. So, and I don't know, started sparring again, and I was like, hey, told Steve Mestis, he was my boxing coach for my whole career and 20 years, and told him to come check me out and see what he thought. And, Steve Mestis, of course, he was like, you're fighting. So,
Yep.
That's awesome, man.
That's the way the boss man is, man. He ain't nothing to it but to do it. No excuses,
Yeah, got it.
But I'll tell you what, though, coming back from that car accident that we spoke about so many times before back in 2020, to rebuild your whole hip and your body back and bring it back. And then, to get back in the gym and start coaching. And, last time I saw you when we were in Denver in January, you were already shredded. We could tell you were already getting ready for a fight. That's why I hit you up and I said, so what's up, man? Look at how cut up you are, dude. Coaches know, or they see it or what have you. And sure enough, we were able to see, thank you to Brittany, Brittany took care of us on that fight. We got to see you.
Thank you, Brittany.
You look good. You don't look like you're anywhere near 40 in that ring. You controlled the fight. And the wind up there, or the air, I should say, the air up there is always very thin in Colorado. So, man, I mean, your conditioning was phenomenal. I got to compliment you, brother. You're still a champ, and we will always be a champ.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, Dave. I appreciate it. I may have a really good poker face.
That's about 80% of it, right?
Yeah. Because I was feeling a little, not gassed, I would say, but a little winded, and there was times where I was like, I've been here before, and so I think my experience, that was my 64th professional match, and I think my experience in the ring really came out in that fight. It really helped carry me through. So
wow, that is phenomenal. 64th.
That was my 64th professional fight. Yeah.
Okay, now we had the discussion and we were talking, and now from what I understood about our last conversation, or what we were talking about was, now you are second in most fights in Colorado to Jack Dempsey.
I'm not sure if that. All I know is I got a good friend of mine. His name's Tyler Kelso. He's actually one of my best friends, and he's a boxing historian. You can ask him anything. He says names of boxers from back in the day that I have never heard of. He knows a bunch of. He told me that I had the most fights in Colorado history, and then he fact checked it or something, and came back and told me that I was in Colorado boxing history was second to Jack Dempsey. So,
well, either way, to be up there in that area is, I mean, just to be near Jack Dempsey is, you're a legend. You're a Colorado legend, man. If not, should be a legend all the way through the boxing for as many fights as you've put on.
Thank you, Dave. I appreciate that. Really do. I wasn't always, I wasn't the best fighter. I would say that. I never would say that. But I always put the work in, and I came to the gym, and I came to get ready for my fights every time. I never, there was no days off, to holidays, birthdays, all that stuff. So,
wow,
it really, it was really effort on my part that I never knew I had in me. And since my accident, the last 3 years has been big changes for me in realizing who I am and where I come from and what I have done with myself in my life, And, you got to look at the bad parts too. So in doing that, I've really learned a lot about myself and giving myself some credit and knowing my worth. So,
wow. Yeah. That's one of the hardest things to do is giving yourself credit. To come to that realization, I notice with a lot of pro boxers that, they're so hard on themselves, especially at that level. And when they have the championship mindset, because they're the biggest critic. Not anybody could be their biggest critic but themselves. So, man, I'll tell you that is brutal.
Yep.
That's awesome that you came to that realization, and I'm grateful that you have, because you deserve to reap those rewards and reap those blessings. You earned it, so you can embrace it and have a go at it, and just, we're going to ask you a bunch of questions as we go through here, but we're going to get Art. We're going to get Art up here. Art, you want to ask the champ some questions there, sir?
Yeah. Hey, Red Hot, nice to meet you.
You too, man.
I just learned about you recently, and I like to dive deep into the fighters' background and their history and stuff. And going into the accident, the time off, and then I'm gonna be brutal here. You're in your 40s.
Yep.
What is training day in and day out like? Is there any kind of without giving away too much? Obviously, I don't want but I'm just curious, what's the day-to-day like for you? Is it a little, when you go in there and you spar and train with some of the younger cats, what's that like for you? Do you still feel that fire? Is it still the same as before, or is it a little different? I'm just curious about that.
Man, good question. That really, The difference, there is a difference. Yeah, there's a big difference. With my own self, as far, I'm getting in there with these young guys, and I got a lot of experience, ring experience. I never had one amateur fight though, so a lot of these kids have the amateur fight, So, but but as far as how I feel in there sparring with them, my experience beats their age. It really does. I can, and I'm not taking nothing away from them because they do give me, good work. But when I'm in there sparring with these guys, I really know, I really have that edge on the experience and little tricks and little things that you do, But I'm in the gym all day, every day. I'm, usually in that gym about 5:30 in the morning till about 7 at night. Sometimes later, sometimes I come in a little bit later too sometimes, but really my time in the gym is used to coach these guys and give what I have to them as much as I can, and then I get my workouts in, and they're pretty good workouts, and I feel good. I'm not obviously not doing the same stuff I used to do. Just just a little limited on some things, and nothing crazy, but I don't want to hurt myself. I do have this hip, and but there's no complaints from me with any injuries or anything. I don't have any outs or excuses for anything. I work hard, and in the hip, a lot of people will have told me before when the accident happens, when it gets cold or this is gonna bother you, this is gonna happen, and man, I don't ever feel nothing in this hip. It's crazy. I want to, God touched that surgeon's hands that did the job and really did a good job. I mean, in fact, I would say it feels better because I get to lay down and put my leg every day, whenever I can, whenever I want. I lay down, I put my leg up, and I let it fall. Like I bend my knee up, and I have my other leg straight, and I just let my leg fall flat. And man, whoo, that feels so good. It just feels amazing. It's amazing. It's crazy how something like that would be, that's the difference. I get to feel good whenever I want. Just lay down and put my leg down.
Wow.
It feels amazing. It's just crazy. And I never have any pains. I never have any cracking or popping or, anything. It's like it's not even, I can't believe what it is. I can't believe that it happened, even though it did. And, it's just amazing.
Wow. What a blessing, man.
I hope I answered your question. I'm sorry. I went off a little bit there.
It's perfect.
Yeah. Cool.
Perfect. Brittany, I know you got some good questions coming up.
Uh-oh.
You always got some flavor behind them.
Listen,
What's up, Brittany?
Red hot.
Man, she's looking like a fighter in the gym, man. You should see her. She's looking like a fighter in that gym.
No, I don't.
Every time she's working with my boy Adrian, she's like, check her out, man. Watch this. I'm like, dang, she really throwing in punches like a fighter.
No.
The ring announcer that beat you up.
Listen, I love you, Rob, but don't lie for me. I don't look like a fighter at all.
She's humble. She's being humble.
Not even a little bit. But I will say I love that class, and I have lost about 13 pounds this year taking that class.
Good stuff.
I mean, it's been a lot of like portioning and carb cutting too. Don't get me wrong, but I feel really good. I feel strong. I feel light, and it's been a fun class. But no, I don't look like a fighter. I am not a fighter.
Okay, I'll let her tell it.
But no, man. Listen. I hear you when you say you've got ring rust and you felt it.
Yeah.
But literally, you can't sit any closer than I sit. You didn't look like you had ring rust, Rob. Not even a little bit.
Right.
Not even a little bit. You looked great in there. Your punches were strong. The precision was beautiful. Like, I can't tell you, like, to have just known you in this short of time, realized what your career has been, and no, like, are you, you know what I mean? Do you have a pristine record? Fuck no. But that's what, to me, that's a true fighter. You have to lose to appreciate the game and to learn your lesson and to win again, you know? And I can't tell you the honor it was to announce your fight, Rob, to announce a legend like you. Like, I literally sat down as soon as I got out of the ring, and I got goosebumps for you, man. Like, I seen you step forward and you were ready, and oh man, I just got goosebumps for you. It was
Wow.
a fucking honor
Awesome.
to announce your fight. Are you gonna do it again?
Yes.
Fuck yeah!
Oh, that's what we were waiting to hear.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you know when?
No, I don't. I'm actually gonna be taking off for a minute. I'm March 18th to the 25th or 6th, I believe. We are going to San Diego.
Okay.
Just for a trip. Get out of here for a little bit and take a little break.
Good. Good for
like I
you
said,
guys.
long days, and I couldn't believe it the other day. I was telling somebody about my gym time, and I was like, "Man, I was been in the gym for 29 hours in 2 days. Like,
Holy
what am I doing?
crap.
15 hours one day and 14 the next." I was like, "Whoa!" And I don't never really count my hours, but I was feeling it, and I was like, "Man, what? How many hours have I been home? Have I even been home?"
Right. Yeah.
Well, I love what I'm doing,
deserve.
so I can't complain. It's not complaining at all on my side. I love it. I love being in there and the energy. So, but yeah, I'm gonna fight again, and I'm not sure when. I want to do maybe one more at home, and then I want to hit the road. I want to do 6 more, so I'll do 1 on the road and 5 on, or 1 on at home, and then 5 on the road, and see what I can do.
That's incredible.
I'm not trying to make any noise or do anything or saying I'm going to go and be a world champion because, and I'm not counting myself out either. But I do know the reality of things, and it's just, and I would be fine not fighting, but I think for me, what doing this has become for me, when I started thinking about fighting again, was actually me getting back up on my feet. And I don't know, maybe it's for myself, to prove to myself, but I know that it inspired me. I inspired myself through my recovery and through everything that happened and everything else too, on top of that, divorce, very, very ugly thing. Still, it's just not, life has been so good to me, and God has been amazing. I love God, and God has given me new hope and new life, and I'm blessed, and I thank God all the time for everything. And but I know that through all of that, it was just tests and things for me to figure out where I wanted to be in my life. And man, God really was pulling the strings on that. He really put me in a direction, really showed me things, when I was sitting in my gym, just over a year ago, over a year ago, January, I was sitting in my gym after I quit my job a month ago to come be in the gym full time. And I was reading my Bible, and I was actually getting ready to do my first sermon at my church. And I was stressed out though, because money, I wasn't coming in, and I wasn't doing anything at the gym, and they're not paying me at the gym, not a living wage anyways. And so I just looked up and asked God, is this where you want me to be? Is this where I need to be? Is this right? And, it really helped that I had been reading my Bible and been doing all that, and what he did for me after that question, is this where you want me? Should I go get a job? Should I, the door opens, and all these kids just start coming in. Like, I had 4, 5, 6 kids by the end of that week just coming in, just happy to be there, talking to me about God, talking to me about my dad's a pastor, listening to my Christian music I had on, all these things. And it just was like God was like, oh, here, you want an answer? And, here's your answer. And boom, these kids come in. And then, and you know what? They didn't have $1 million for me. They didn't give me no money. I didn't ask them for no money. It wasn't about that. It was about being where I needed to be. and God showed me, hey, these kids need you here at the gym. And he'll take care of the rest. And he has. He definitely has. He really has. Every time I pray, I see a blessing. And your ad for this, Dave, when you made this ad about God was really using me. God was really in my life. God really was. God really has, and He still is every day. I wake up every day and I drive to that gym, and I got a long drive to that gym. Gym's pretty far out, so. And every day that drive, I pray the whole way there. And I know He's answering my prayers. He really does. And, I asked Him if it would be okay to fight again. I asked Him, is it okay if I should fight? And everything that was coming to me said yes. God said yes. God said, yeah, you know what? Let's at least show yourself that you could do this. And I did. And it was fun. I had fun in there. It was cool.
You could tell you had fun. Man, the way you're moving around, it was like coming back home for you.
Yeah.
It seemed like.
Oh man, and I didn't realize how much, because I was such a knucklehead and kind of had it, and I didn't even know. I didn't know about life. I didn't. You guys, I'm 42 years old, and I'm not ashamed to say it, but it's kind of, I don't want to say embarrassing, but 3 years ago, not even less than 3 years ago, but when my accident happened, things started changing in my life, and before that, I think things were going that way, but I think I needed to have some trauma in my life. Some sometimes you need that to kick you in the butt and pull you in that direction. And man, what a crazy ride it's been. But I realized I thought this was stuck that way. I thought the way I was, the way you are, and I didn't realize that I could look inside here and say, hey, I don't like this, and throw it away, and I'm still doing it. You still got to do that. I had, I don't want to go on about it, but, a lot of trauma in my life as a child. Meth addicts raised me, and I was beaten and abused and stuff like that. That's just short term. But, yeah, I really believed that I was worthless. I really believed that I couldn't do anything. I still fight that battle. I always say, man, I've been in, the ring 64 times professionally, and I've fought a lot of top 10s in the world. And, but my number one opponent has always been me. So.
Man, I couldn't agree with you more on that statement, Rob.
Yeah.
I didn't have nearly the upbringing that you did by any means, but I had my own trauma in my own ways, and my own worst enemy is me 9 out of 10 fucking times. And sometimes I just gotta tell that bitch to shut the fuck up, man. God damn. So I get it, man.
Yeah.
You really have overcome a lot, and you looked great in there.
Thank you, guys.
You really did. Yeah.
It felt good. It was awesome to be back in there.
Well, Rob, you know what? You're such an inspiration, man. I'm going to tell you this. Okay, now we could go over the younger people. We could go over the younger crowd. But, man, how about everybody over 35, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50? When you say you have a divine appointment and you know you're where you're supposed to be because you listen when you pray, you hear it, you receive it, you speak it, and it tells you. So I am a 110% believer in exactly what you just said. And you inspire me. And I'm just like, I know you inspire everybody that's around you. It's inspiring me to, I'm rethinking some things here too myself, physically, to go back and start, doing what I love to do for just me. I can't get in the ring. I can get in the ring again, I guess, but I don't know, about at my age now, I'm looking at about 15 years later, you know what I'm saying? So it's bad enough. I'm forgetting everything every 20 minutes anyway. So to take some more hits, it might close the gap. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But anyway, Caesar, man, Caesar brother, man, what's up, my man?
Hey, Caesar.
How you doing?
What's up? Right here, just tripping out, bro. Your age and going at it. I mean, did you get up good the next morning, or you had to have?
I felt good. I felt good.
I played baseball and I'm hurting the next day. You know what I mean? So I can imagine. I did see. I mean, I did not counting anything behind the woodshed because I don't know, but it looks like you were, in the ring between fights like 3 years, something like that. What did you learn? I mean, from like mentally, 3 years off, you jump into the ring recently, and what's the first thing that you said to yourself? Okay, this is different from the last time I stepped in the ring. That 3 years, what was that?
Actually, I told my girl this. We were talking about it, and I felt really calm, more so than I ever felt. I was really relaxed. In 3 years off, I probably should have been like a nervous wreck or something, But I felt relaxed. I felt more mature.
What do you attribute it to?
I attribute it to my growth in my life. Actually, everything. I'm not. I used to freak out about everything. I used to be just a real head case, walking around talking to myself all the time about how bad things are, how is this going to happen? What's just creating false stories in my head that never happened before they happen, So shutting that off really helped, and I didn't have no stories for the fight to scare me or make me nervous or make me a wreck. I didn't have no doubts in my mind that I was good and ready, and and I never I always go to the ring pretty confident before, but that little guy up here was doing a lot of this all the time too. And that guy, I learned how to, like Brittany was saying, I told that dude to shut up a long time ago, a while back. And
it's almost like having Slim Shady in your head all the time, right?
Right. Yeah. Yep. Got him right here. Hey. Yeah.
So that calmness now, it's got to give you the little extra confidence that you say you're going to do it again. Like, you must be looking forward to it now.
Yeah, I am, man. I really am, bro. I think it's going to be fun again. And, I'm not sure who or anything. I'm not trying to run into any top 10s or anything right now. But, maybe my last 2 fights or something. I said I want to do 6 more. Stop by 70 if I can. If I get hurt or I feel some type of way in any of these fights, I'm not gonna, this fight right here was it's gonna be one at a time. Fight after fight. It's not gonna be I'm doing 7 and that's it. It's gonna be one fight. See how I feel. And if I want to go again, I'll go again. If not, then I'm gonna be okay.
I believe Dave mentioned a Colorado record for fights. Who was the first place guy, Dave?
Jack Dempsey.
Jack Dempsey. So if you do 6 fights and you look up and you realize that Jack Dempsey's record is 2 or 3 away, are you gonna go for it?
Well, just if I like I said, my health has got to come first. So if I feel in some type of way where I'm not, if I have a fight and I don't feel good, or if I'm even not feeling good in sparring, I'm gonna that record is not really. That's pretty cool. I like it. That's pretty cool. I think it's cool, but it's not important to me. It's not like a big deal to me where, I got the best. What am I going to do when I'm 75 years old? I got that best. I got the most fights.
That could change when you see it just right there. You know what I mean? You could be like, screw it. Let's do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I hope you do.
Well, I thank you, man. I really appreciate you, brother. And but like I said though, too, man, I don't want to be 70. Like, I got the most fights. I want to keep this. As good as it is, it's actually okay. With all those fights, I still know that 2 + 2 is 5, right? So there we go. Yeah, got to move their head. 5, right?
Right on, man. That is so awesome. So, Rob, did you last night happen to see John Bones Jones coming back in from retirement last night?
No, I didn't see it. Man, I'm actually, you guys are going to smack me on the hand, but I really don't watch too many fights. I'm real busy all the time. So like today, man, this was my day. I still had to go to the gym this morning, but man, we went and got turkey legs at the flea market, all kinds of, well, we went to go get them, but that line was crazy. So we went to La Paradiso.
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 Earth or something like that.
Yeah, it's a good Mexican. It's the best Mexican restaurant.
Right on.
Yeah.
Well, John Bones Jones came out of retirement yesterday to fight the heavyweight champ. He came up in weight and turned heavyweight after 3 years of being out.
Wow.
And you know, I'm telling you, the calmness that you had when you were in the fight was similar to the same calmness that John Bones Jones had. He walked in, he was happy. It was like it was his homecoming, just like you.
Yeah.
You know, and he was happy, and he was saying hi to everybody, hugging everybody, kissing everybody. Yep. and the first thing he walks into is a low blow kick. Oh. Boom! I think it had to be 5 seconds into the fight. Kind of rattled him a little bit, and then it took about another 2 minutes for him just to put the guy to sleep.
He won,
and that's okay, man. He needed that. He deserved that. He had it coming. So, I'm gonna be straight up. Sorry, so go ahead.
No. Go ahead. Finish. I was just gonna say real quick. I was surprised how big John Jones was. 240 something. It was big.
Wow.
Yeah, he was big. He was a little heavier than the other guy. But I was just gonna say straight up, I'm biased. I don't like Bones at all.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm biased. I'm not afraid to say it.
Yeah. Let it out, man. Shoot. I don't even know him that well. To be honest, like I said, man, I need to watch the fights.
Yeah, and you know, Art, I'll tell you one thing. I feel the same way about Bones. I've never met him. I've had the luxury of meeting a huge amount of people, but never him. So I don't know him personally. This is just what I see, the perception that he puts out on TV and internet and all that. And I'll tell you, I used to feel the same way about Floyd Mayweather Jr. You know, everybody used to hate that guy. You buy his pay to see him lose, right? And then you meet the guy, and you're like, man, this is the most nicest guy you'll ever meet. Coolest dude, and you have no choice but to like him. So for all you know, John Jones is just putting that persona out there to get paid like Floyd was, Floyd was just getting paid. He's the nicest guy.
My thing with Bones is he's the opposite of Floyd. Like, he plays the nice guy in the interviews and the pressers and all that, and he's all like, "Oh, glory to God," and this and that. That's cool, this and that. But in real life, that dude's, not to get too lost in the weeds and the details and all that. We're here for Rob. But there's a lot of stuff that he did that other fighters are now talking about that is super dirty. The fights that I've seen going back to his early fights, he got away with a lot of illegal blows. Like, when he fought Anthony Smith, he straight up kneed him in the face on the ground, which is illegal. Did it twice. Yeah. Like, I just don't like him. And he's the same way outside of the ring. If you just Google him and see the stuff that he's been involved in himself personally, with the law, with his domestic partner, everything, like, I just don't like the guy at all.
As far as the fights go, though, it is a fight. So, you know what I mean? If he got away with it, then power to him, because the ref didn't catch it. The outside of the ring stuff, I agree with you. That right there, I'm not really too fond of him because of that as well. But the ring stuff, that's not. You really can't deny that he's probably up there as one of the best ever.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I can't deny that. His level of skill is amazing, and I think that's why I dislike him so much. Because if the dude with just a little bit of discipline, like, who knows how much further he could have gone. But yeah, no, I'm with you. The in-ring stuff, like, if he gets away with it, it's on the ref. But it's like over and over and over. Like, when you need the guy in the face, he did it not just once, but like 2 or 3 times. And it's like, bro, the ref already warned you.
Hey, but I'm not gonna lie, seeing him get knocked out would be kind of satisfying. He's doing a good job. That's what that means.
It takes up so many people to make up the world of combat sports, man. You always got an A side, you always got a B side. You got a good, you got an evil, you got some in the middle. You know what I mean? It's just the way the world is. It's the world. Yeah. The whole world is like this, Yeah. So, my thing is, talking to Rob and the feeling about walking in there and feeling like you're back home, and after putting in all that work that you did to get yourself prepared for this fight, the to breathe that air in and to be where you're at now, the seasoning of the mind and the calmness and the feeling of being where you're supposed to be, that is a blessing, man.
Yeah.
You know, that is such a blessing, because you could tell me how many people out there that kind of, they didn't ever reach that pinnacle, ever. They've been champions too, but yet they never got to reach the pinnacle of actually being in the right mindset as you're seasoned as a man and as a boxer, and it all coming together, and then being in there at that moment. So I'm in awe with you. I'm proud of you. You got all the love in the world from all of us, man.
Yeah, man.
And man, I'll tell you what. Now we're gonna be stuck to you, because one fight at a time.
Yeah.
One fight at a time.
Yep.
That's what way do you walk around that?
I was walking around about 63, but it's kind of weird how it worked. I was 63, 64, and then I got sick. Christmas, New Year's, I was sick over that. Really sick, actually. I got COVID, and COVID wasn't that bad. So, but I and then when I got back to the gym after being sick, I was down 12 pounds. I was down at 52, 50, 51, and I just kind of stayed there, because that's when things started. I started like, you know what? I'm going to get back in shape, because I was at gym to start working out again. And then I started seeing the guys sparring, and one day somebody like, I need to spar, but nobody's here. And I was like, let's go. I'll get in there with you. And I got down with them.
Is 150? I saw you fought like at 153 or something like that, 154. And I noticed most of your fights have been like in the 30s and 40s, right?
Yeah, 35 and 40. Yeah, my titles were at 35 and 40.
Yeah. So do you want to come down, or you want to kind of stay there and not really deal with the weight cut?
Nope. I'm comfortable with this.
Oh, good stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I feel good too. I felt like I was hitting a little bit harder too. Like I never hit that hard. So if you check out my knockout rate, it's not that good. Stevie Marquez will attest to that. He talks so much crap about that.
Oh shoot, Stevie.
Stevie Marquez, he's always talking about, you go, Rob, no power, Frankel.
Oh man. Oh man. Well, the Marquez brothers, man, they come back a long way too.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah.
That's my family, bro.
Right on. Well, you know what? Right now, let me do a couple shout outs here real quick. This way we can take care of our peeps. We got Scotty Gomez. Welcome back, Scotty. Thanks for all your support, man.
Oh, Scotty.
Ask us anything. We're looking at everything here the best that we can. We got Brandon Parker. Welcome, Brandon Parker. Brandon Parker was actually Jimmy Nunes' opponent back in January. Welcome, Brandon. Thanks for your support, man. Welcome to the show. We got Rokas, and then of course tomorrow they've got their show going down. He's already sending me all the info on that. So tune into them on Monday. You got my mom, who's my biggest fan, Ernestine.
What's up, moms?
Hey, Mom. Thanks for joining us. Of course, we got Robert Atencio. What's up, brother Robert?
Hey, man? Mr. Atencio, my man.
Thank you for always tuning in, sir, man. Appreciate you, brother. And then we got Arturo Rodriguez. It's my primo from the north side of Denver, Colorado. Thank you, primo, for always supporting us. And see, we've got Adam and Dez. Adam and Dez, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. My wife, Original Nuts and Bolts, Mary Trujillo, thank you for joining us.
What's up?
Appreciate you, babe. Thank you for hanging with me through all these combat sports weekends that we do. And then we got the boss, the man, Steve Mestis. Steve.
Yeah.
Right on, brother. Busiest promoter I've ever met, I've ever known.
Yeah.
My gosh, man. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for all your hard work. And then we have Callie Ryan Ewing. Thank you, Callie, for joining us.
Port Morgan Gladiators.
All right. There they are. There it is right there. And then Jacqueline Lopez. Hi, Jacqueline.
Hey, Jack.
Now she has a son, Ryan, right?
Ryan
and
Lopez.
A daughter that they're going to travel. They're traveling right now. And we wish you all the luck. We pray for you guys there.
Yep.
Jerry Salinas, Jesus is the way and the truth and the life, brother. Yes, sir. We agree with you, Jerry. Thank you for your support. Sean Young. Hello, Brittany, ring announcer. All right. And then that's pretty much it for right now until I pull everybody else up. But now, if we don't mind, Rob, we're going to go over a couple of the fights that we went over last night. I'm sure Caesar's been dying to kind of jump in there. Caesar, take the floor, brother. Which fight do you want to talk about first? Your mic.
Sorry, guys. I do there's a girl on the TV here, Ginger Chan, and she does that all the time too. The traffic girl. You probably know what I'm talking about, right, Art? Art knows what I'm talking about. She does that all the time. But anyways, yeah, the PBC card, man. That was the one that I thought was the best card this weekend. It was some fights. Again, that Brandon Figueroa kid, the Heartbreaker. Since I took one of my guys to spar that kid a few years back, and he manhandled my guy. And I thought to myself, man, this little guy's gonna be something. And just his style he's kind of wills himself to be something, and he kind of did that last night. I don't know if you guys saw that fight, but it was basically a throwdown to see who could hang the longest. And so far, nobody has been able to outlast this kid. So he's got a pretty good showdown coming up with Ray Vargas, who again I'm familiar with. I had a guy fight against Ray Vargas, so I don't know if Brandon can take him, but it was one hell of a fight. I don't know if you guys saw that, but who did see that fight? Did you guys check that out?
The one that was it Vargas against
no, the main event that was Brandon Figueroa against
Messiah. Oh yeah, wow, man,
that was
you talk about consistency to the body. Okay. What do we got going on here?
Yeah, man, that kid is brutal. He comes forward. I love his style. He comes, he's not a boxer at all. He just comes to fight, which, a lot of people don't know the difference between boxing and fighting, but that kid does not box. He fights. He may mix in a little boxing here and there, but he fights, and that style is great. And then we also had Jarrett Hurd, man, Swift. I thought he was going to do a lot better. He was a strong kid. Basically fights a black kid who fights like a Mexican, but he got out Mexican. They shot him a kid from Nayarit, from where I do fights, a kid that I'm very familiar with. Everybody out there is really happy. Props to Toro Resendiz, who just outworked Jarrett and did a great job. And congratulations to a friend of mine, Terrell Gaucher, as well, who knocked out Eddie Murphy's nephew, Brandon Lynch. I don't know if you guys knew this, but Eddie Murphy's nephew, Brandon Lynch, built himself a pretty solid little record and got himself a good little payday, I'm sure, with PBC. And he fought Terrell Gaucher, a former Olympian, last night. But
I got to meet him, actually. I got to take a photo of him.
Yeah, cool kid, man. And,
he's cool.
There's levels to this game. Terrell's on another level. Brandon built a beautiful record. Good kid, works hard. Very dedicated, but there's levels, you know what I mean? So he wasn't able to handle Terrell, but that was a great card last night overall. That PBC card on Showtime, it's good stuff. Good stuff. You guys missed it if you guys didn't watch it.
Yeah, it was. Now there was another fight on DAZN, right? I didn't get to see any of that one. Did anybody see the DAZN fights?
Yeah, the DAZN ones were. Hold on, let me look that up.
I didn't even know they had fights.
Yeah,
it was a busy weekend, and then we saw. Well, I was looking forward to watching the a kid that we know, Dave Laz. I think I heard that he won.
Yes,
not too sure.
Unanimous decision.
Okay, yeah, so he won, and yeah, the ones on DAZN were actually in Mexico, in Culiacan. They're kind of crazy going out there right now, but they went out there and did the fights. And that one, I really didn't pay too much attention to that card, simply because of the fact I only had one TV on. So, you know what I mean? And two, that PBC card was just that good. You know what I mean? Like, the fights are good. It was a lot more exciting fights, high-level fights. And I really didn't watch the Mexico ones. But, DAZN is always known to be putting out. I'm glad they're going out there and doing fights in Mexico and helping that grow, because, as you guys know, I'm very involved with Mexico fights and boxing out there. So to see it grow, to see a big company like that doing it themselves and not co-promoting, that was pretty good.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's good news to hear. I do know your passion for Night Eat and for that for what you got going on out there. It's going to be something to see as you start to develop. What your vision is out there. That's going to be phenomenal. So we look forward to seeing all that. Hot Rob had to take off. Of course, the guy's 24/7 boxing, even though he doesn't watch it. This is the man who's actually living it. So we wish you all the best, Red Hot. Pray for you and your family, man. We're going to be following you, of course. You're going to be back on the show again. Hopefully, we'll be able to fight on some of your cards that you're going to be fighting on as well, too. Now, the one that happened in San Diego with Lazaro, I don't even know who he was fighting. I don't know who he fought, but you saw that. You said it was a tough kid that you had looked up, right? Caesar?
Yeah, no, I know him. We met the kid a few years back in Vegas. His name's Cameron Crail. Big dude, like Hawaiian or something. Big dude, very strong. And man, that kid comes to fight. And he would take tough fights from the beginning. His record's a little backwards, or a lot backwards as well, but don't let it fool you. The kid comes to fight. I've had guys face him, and he's one of those guys that you question yourself as a manager. Taking fights against him is like, should I have done that? You know what I mean? Like, but then once you finish and you win a fight like that against a kid like that, then you're happy you did it, because those kind of kids are the best experience for you as far as fighters, But I told Dave, I go, this kid, he could beat Lazaro. You know what I mean? I didn't see the fight. I don't know the official result, but I heard that Laz got a unanimous decision. But beating Cameron Crail is no. I see he won. So that's a good win on your record, without a doubt. And I guess Cameron, I would say, is a gatekeeper. And so I think Laz is ready to move up to the 8-rounders. And the kid is going to be hopefully he stays consistent in his work, and he'll go pretty far. Laz will.
Yeah, well, I'm going to tell you that I've seen Laz fight a couple times in person, and of course we've seen him spar over at our gym as well too. When you and Big Surge were there, Caesar, and the guy is talented. He just came off of I think of a 2 or 3 year layoff as well. Of course, sometimes you have to have those breaks. Like Leonard Ybarra, a good friend of ours for the show, would say, like, we have those life lags, but he came back and, I believe, what was this? Probably he came back at a 6-round. Was that a 6-rounder fight last night that he had? Or,
yeah, I think it was a 6-rounder. So,
yeah, there he is with Eddie Reynoso. Yeah. Now, I got a big question for everybody. Has anybody got to see the new movie Creed? No?
I'm waiting for the book.
You waiting for the book?
I saw it today, actually. I saw it this morning.
Did you? Oh, man.
Yeah.
They had a lot of good people in there. They had a lot of good people in there.
I saw Terrence Crawford in there.
Terrence Crawford, Bomac. They had
the movie good?
The Mid Queen. Yeah,
is it worth? I mean, is the hype, live up to the movie, or does the movie live up to the hype? Or
it's expected. I mean, you could like predict it, right? You already know this type of movies, so you know
what's going to happen. Those scripts are just being ran right over again, so it's just with different characters, brother. But if you're going to step out of the fight world and take a break and go for some entertainment, that's exactly what it is. Entertainment, and I put a post up there because you know what? The kids don't see it that way. We do, because we're in the game. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's so over dramatic, and that's exactly what it was meant to be, But I put a post up saying, boom. I says, if you want to be here, you want to start here at the House of Pain, because it is going to reach the kids. Like Jake Paul and all those YouTubers, they're going to reach the kids. It is what it is. So, there's a double-edged sword to everything, and I'm with you on that, Caesar. But I've seen that script play out plenty of times, but it's the characters were different.
I just rather. I mean, I've seen Rocky 1 through 4 probably 27 million times. So I force feed my nephews it. I tell them, nah, don't watch this. Watch this. This is the real deal right here.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But it's force fed to them. They want to watch Creed. You know what I mean? They don't want to watch Rocky no more.
Right.
Too bad, but honestly, I'm not really too like all excited about watching it. I'm sure at some point I will, but I haven't even seen Creed 2, so that tells you where I am on that. You know, after the first one, you know, the second one's not supposed to be as good, right?
Right. This one was without Sylvester Stallone, even though he was still the producer or what have you on it. I don't know what the deal is there. I think he had his hands full with the king of he was king of Tulsa. What was it? Tulsa.
King of Tulsa. Yeah.
So he had to be pretty busy there. But it's entertaining. How about you, Brittany? Anything else? You have some people coming on board here on the show. What's up? So
I can't name drop anybody yet.
Okay.
But yes, I do have a guest that I'd like to bring on in probably mid-April. Pretty excited about that. Just waiting on confirmation for dates and stuff. But I do have some exciting news on my end. I mean, not only did we have 2 incredible shows with Airtight Boxing in February on the 18th and the 24th, but we are back on March 11th, so next Saturday, out here in Arvada, Colorado. It's going to be a great night of fights again. But I have some exciting news, you guys, and I just got the permission to go ahead and go live with it. But I've been trying really hard to expand my ring announcing. Airtight is where my heart will always and forever be, and I have no intention of parting ways with Airtight in any way, shape, or form. But I am hoping to grow, and I've been in talks with the CEO for a promotion out in Pittsburgh. And I will be receiving a contract and an NDA first thing in the morning. But I'm going to start announcing for slap boxing championships. And I'm pretty fucking excited about it.
Hell yeah,
and listen, I already see Caesar shaking his head like, the fuck? You're muted. You're muted.
For that part. I'm happy for that part, but I just can't. I don't know how 2 guys somebody would actually stand there and allow themselves to get. Slapped.
And I knew you were going to say that. So let me break this down for you. So this is not the UFC power slapping. This is slap boxing. So you have an entire ring to utilize. You have defense to utilize. You can, right hook, left hook, uppercut, but all open-handed. All open-handed.
You pitch that?
So it's gonna be cool. It's brand new, super exciting. They've got a lot of investors for it. They've got a lot of athletes ready for it. So I mean, just keep your eye on it. Don't hate it until you see it. You know what I mean? There's definitely gonna be some theatrics to it.
It sounds like a perfect league for the transgender athletes.
I mean, listen, I really think the transgenders just need their own. The transgenders need their own league. Let's just be real.
They need their own league. That's fine.
Sounds like you found it. The slap league.
Well, let's hold up there. All right, I'm gonna test this something here, man. I'm gonna test this up here. Okay, check this out. I love it though, Caesar. There comes a time in your life when you're no longer hitting people with this, especially when you know that it's kind of like you go out there, you're in the world, you're at bars or whatever. I quit going to bars a long time ago, and those are the reasons why. All right, so there came a time in my life where I quit hitting people with closed fist because I didn't. It'd be a difference if them calling the cops on me because I knocked them out like this or if I knocked him out with these. All right. So, what are you going to tell the cops? I got bitch slapped. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I actually developed, slapping them. I call them slap outs. You know what I mean? You see the way I slapped that guy out, or he deserved that slap out or whatever, because it's like bap bap. Put him to sleep, and you're gonna call the cops, man. I didn't even close my fist. So I'm a fan of that. I mean, and if these guys are going to be fast and they're going to be good, I'd like to see how conditioned their hands are. I'd like to see how their skin is conditioned. I'd like to see, because there's got to be some type of art to that.
Right. I think that, and I get it. Like, I understand that it's going to receive a lot of criticism from all angles, and not like our channel, but like from all kinds of different people. I get it. Like, there's going to be people who don't even consider it a real sport. And whatever, it is what it is. But they're getting real athletes, real boxers, real bare knuckle boxers, real MMA.
If golf is a sport, that's a sport. Let me tell you.
I agree. Exactly.
I don't think it'll be as bad received as you think. Back in the day, there was an organization called Pancrase, and they were called the King of Pancrase, so we got the championship. Yeah, and it was MMA, but there was no closed fist, and so there was a lot of palms and a lot of like power slap type stuff. And really, really big name came out of there, Boss Rutan. And he was a UFC champ, and I mean that guy is still really well known. So he has really good technique on how he would knock people out with the palm. So I don't think it'll be as
and I've heard those guys talk about those palm strikes, and they get you with the base. They're actually harder than fist punches. They're doing more damage on you. So I've heard that, right? I know that Boss was one of those guys.
Yeah, and then he used to be a bouncer too before he got into professional fighting, and he said that even then he preferred to do open hand because he would break his hands less. Because a lot of guys, when you get into the bar fights and stuff, I don't know, they'll crack and they'll break a knuckle, they'll break a bone, this and that. Right. So he was like, "Hey, because I got tired of doing that, so I started just slapping people." So it kind of reminds me of what Dave was talking about when he was like, "Yeah, I stopped doing this and I started doing like there you go, it goes right in line."
Exactly.
Have you seen the size of Dave's hands though? I mean, if I had hands like Dave, I would slap the shit out of people too.
They're 5X. That's a 5X right there. Same size as what's the guy who used to wear the sword? He had the tattoo of the sword. Brock Lesnar. I actually was able to put my hands up with his over in Vegas when they did they were doing a UFC bodybuilding where all the UFC fighters would go and they have their booths, and you get it. And we actually put our hands up together, and my hands were just as big as his.
Damn.
Which is crazy because I'm only 5'9". But I mean, all the extremities are that of a 6'5". Even my reach is that of a 6'5" guy. It's weird.
If they offer you enough money, Dave, would you take one of those slap box fights?
You know what? I might do something like that for free just to see how hard I could hit somebody.
No.
Well, you heard it here first.
But the only problem is it's got to be within 10 seconds.
Set it up.
I'm not sticking around longer than that. I don't have the will for it. Well, congratulations to you, Brittany. That is some awesome news.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'll be out in Pittsburgh. I mean, as long as shit happens, I get it. Universe, and fight gods are in alignment. I'll be in Pittsburgh in April.
Wow, that is awesome.
Yeah,
that is so awesome.
I'm excited. I'll keep you guys posted.
Absolutely. Congratulations.
Thanks.
I got to do a couple more shout outs there. I can't miss. We got Erica Garcia. She's up there. Hi, Erica. This is Caesar's Better Half. Thank you for always supporting us, Erica. We appreciate you. And then we've got Candy's Hardwood Flooring. Appreciate you. Rocky doesn't even want to be in Creed anymore. Well, we probably figured that, but we appreciate you, Candy's Hardwood Flooring, for always supporting us and whatnot. I want to do a shout out real quick to Steve Torres. Steve Torres did his MMA debut yesterday. Came out. The guy was chiseled. He's been getting his hands over with our coach, Alex Gonzalez, under the House of Pain. And every round he fought, he set up his takedowns with his hands first. He'd throw a combination, sweep right under, boom. And his takedowns were nothing nice. He slammed that dude like you would not believe. And he did it in all 3 rounds. And then he shut him down in the last round. So kudos to you. Congratulations, Steve. We look forward to working more with you here at the House of Pain. And we're going to have him on the show next week, along with Derek, who's SoCal MMA. He runs the, I guess we want to say, the judges and what have you for the Gladiator Challenge. So he'll be on the show. They'll both be on the show next week. They don't have a problem intertwining the fighters along with the judges or what have you, especially after a fight, so that's going to be fun to have them on there. And then we got some pretty good things coming up in the future, some good talent coming up that we're going to be talking to. One of the big ones is going to be Big Surge and Bobby Wambacher coming back from Dubai. So that's going to be a huge show. Love to see how that goes. We're headed out. We should be headed out probably March 22nd with Jimmy. And possibly even another fighter for Caesar coming from Boston, right, Caesar? If we can make that happen. We're looking for it.
He's in Boston training with Carlos Gongora, who's supposed to be fighting a title fight or something like that. So his manager, I'm his promoter, so his manager has him out there training with that kid, and hopefully he'll be out here. And once he's out here, I mean, he says he's ready to fight. So if Messes is listening, find us a fight. I mean, he's down to go B-side. The kid, I don't want to say too much about him, but he'll take a B-side fight without a problem and go win it too.
That'd be awesome, brother. That'd be awesome. Let's do that. We could all head out together on the 22nd or what have you. Get the fight done there in Colorado. Get back, and then of course Steve's got other fights already lined up in April. So we're looking at keeping Jimmy busy right now, and a couple other boxers that we're dealing with as well. But anyway. Let's start with you, Omar. You have any final words for our peeps out there?
No, it was great. It was great talking to Red Hot Rob, seeing where he's gonna go in the future. How he was talking about he's gonna take some fights possibly in the future, and that's awesome to hear, man. Definitely. It's always great talking to you guys. Always great catching up about the fights and just about what we're doing. I love it. Just thank you. Thank you to everyone that watches and supports, and we'll be back next Sunday, definitely.
Right on. Art?
So, not to gloat, but I'm sitting at like 90% for my picks for the UFC yesterday.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 9 of my picks.
All right.
And that 9th one, again, personal bias, I just went against Jones just because. In my head, I knew what was going to happen, but I was like, yeah, no, still. So I would have been batting 100, but I'm feeling pretty good about that, man. It's been a
wow, 9 out of 10.
You picked Grasso. You picked Grasso to win, huh? Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
Congratulations to her.
Yeah, we talked about it last time we were on the show, and I was like, yeah, I think Shevchenko's going to take it, but the more I looked at it and the more I thought about it and the more I kind of studied it, I was like, you know what? I think everyone underestimated her. They made her out to be just a boxer, but even Shevchenko in the pressers was saying she's not just a striker; she's a complete martial artist. At this level, we're all complete fighters. You can't be one dimensional. And I was like, yeah, that's true. And I started seeing some of Grasso's last fights, and I was like, you know what? I think she's got a pretty good shot. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take that long shot. I'm gonna play the odds. And man, dude, if I would have I don't actually put money because I don't know how the gambling actually works. But I was like, dude, if I would have put just $100 on my, I would have come ahead like 1,500, $2,000 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, man. But
it's just I know the line. I would have put. I definitely bet on fights, and I would have if I knew the line was that big. I didn't see that, but Yeah, you'd be surprised. A lot of people would be surprised at how good the MMA culture or the MMA scene is in Mexico. I mean, TJ is without a doubt the number one place. You know, the gym they have there, Entram, has been around for years. But me and Big Surge were in Guadalajara a few years back, and we got to meet Grasso and her dad and their team. And I mean, at that time, we're talking about 4 or 5 years ago. I think Grasso had just gotten into the UFC. And I mean, they had like 4 or 5 fighters that were at one championship, Invicta. Like, they were top fighters, like 6 of them right there. And I was like, man, this is a top-notch gym. And I started noticing that the work that these kids get out there is like top-notch work in Mexico. Mexico is not far behind. Let me tell you, they're around the corner from starting to I don't want to say dominate because the Brazilians got it, but man, they're going to be making some noise, because when it comes to fight sports, Mexicans don't get left behind.
Three UFC champions, 3 Mexican UFC champs, and if Irene Aldana wins, if she gets a title shot and wins, that'd be 4. They were talking about in the post fight. They're like, yeah, we're working on Mexico. We're gonna bring it out there. They're building a performance institute out there, like the one they have in Vegas. So yeah, they've been trying to. Dana White says he's been trying to build up Mexican MMA for a long time. And it's that's exciting.
You know a thing or two about that, right, Dave?
A little bit. Corazon, baby. Corazon. And then building them up, it's going to be amazing to have that all come a part of, just to bring our people up from Mexico, instead of looking at them always as basically a B-side of thing, because they're not. They should be on top just like everybody else. It's just the way that they're promoted, and that's why Caesar is promoting heavily down there. You got Librado Andrade promoting heavily down there with Adelita. You've got just so many down there. They're just really starting to push the boxing and the MMA and everything down there. I think Bare Knuckle is going to go crazy out there eventually once it hits. That's going to be nuts because there's a lot of street fighters in Mexico. Way more than there are any other. A lot of street fighters in Mexico. So I think that they come with some. Too. Who's that?
Muay Thai is huge too. Muay Thai is huge in Mexico. Huge.
Yeah. So it's going to be really cool to see how everything starts to develop. Yesterday, 3 Mexican champions. Man, that's unbelievable. So we got to be proud. That's awesome.
If Brittany can learn how to speak Spanish, then we'll do a bare knuckle fight in Mexico. So you can go announce it.
Listen, just because I'm a white girl doesn't mean I don't know how to speak Spanish.
Let me see them bust out.
I sing in Spanish.
Wow.
Mira como anda mujer por tu querer.
Don't bust out.
Let's go. At the pipes.
Oh man, I think I'm the only white boy here. Come on now. I claim indigenous. Oh man. Well,
you're right though. Bare knuckle out there might be big. Who knows?
I think so because there's a lot of street fighters, coming from Mexico. Boy, those guys ain't no joke, man. Brittany, any final words?
Man, I again, I'm just honored to talk and hang out with you guys and Red Hot Rob. It was great calling his fight. He does have a hell of a backstory, so I think the more we hang out with him and talk to him, the more we'll realize like the fight game is just as much mental as it is physical, and he is proof of that. Other than that, stay tuned. Follow me on social media to stay up to date with what Airtight Boxing is doing and our latest and next events. Follow me to stay up to date with the slap boxing and look them up, slapboxingchampionship.com. I think you guys will be pleasantly surprised with what they're going to do. It's going to be a lot of fun.
That's going to be cool. I'm going to dig it. Caesar.
Yeah, that quote that Brittany said, where boxing is the mental, I think boxing is, like Yogi Berra said, boxing is, or he said it about baseball, but I'll just throw boxing in there. He said, Boxing is 90% mental, and the other half is physical. That's a Yogi Berra quote. So, it's a yogiism. If you guys know baseball, you guys know what that is. But you're right. You're right. And I think that is going to be a strength for Rob, that mental game, that calmness, it comes from experience. You know what I mean? And I think he's going to continue to use that to his advantage. And that's great to hear. So I look forward to seeing him fight actually on his next one. I'm really curious. But I got some guys fighting too. I got 2 guys, and I've been out for a couple weeks, but I was still working, always working. And, Dave, and I was able to book 2 title fights for my guys. They win. They're both in the top 25. One of them already is. One of them is already in the top 10. But he'll be fighting for a world title eliminator in Panama. I don't know the opponent, but it's Gerardo Zapata's my guy. So we're going to Panama in April.
Congratulations.
And then a week later, I have Brandon Valdez fighting for a WBO regional title up in Seattle, Washington. So, I'll see what I can mix in with the show and that, that'll be kind of fun, but we got that coming up and hopefully, some more news, some good news, some good guests. Keep bringing them on, Dave.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And thank you. And Brittany's bringing them on. You guys are all welcome to bring them on. We appreciate, just anybody in the game. It's such a wide variety of what we cover, which is what I love about it, because it's always a lot of spice, and I appreciate everybody there, just like you do, Omar. We appreciate everybody here. It's just nice that we're all here in common and we're talking about this. I got to give a shout out to, was Airtight. What was the other promotions, Brittany, last weekend?
So last weekend, Airtight Boxing does a lot of co-promoting out here in Colorado. Last weekend was co-promoted with Ghost Town. They are part of the Ghost Town Gladiators in Longmont, Colorado. He does some co-promoting with an MMA company out here called Sparta. Sports and Entertainment, Sparta SE. So if you've heard of them, Sparta has sent MMA guys even to the UFC. So shout out to Sparta. I'm hoping to get in and announce for them one of these days too. And then he's done some work with A1 Boxing out here. They had a little show that you were at there, Dave. But for the most part, Ghost Town and Pound for Pound Promotions, they're out of Las Vegas, but they bring a lot of guys out here too. So those are our 3 main, Airtight, Ghost Town, and Pound for Pound.
Right on. Well, big shout out to those guys, man. You, Brittany, you guys all did a killer job on that card last week. It was fun. I got on there. I bought the pay-per-view for that.
Thank you for supporting. Yeah.
Absolutely. You just let us know every time they were up there. Man, I'll tell you what, Gerald Nettles, that's a big boy to be moving around, and he moves like a lightweight. So proud of him.
Yeah, he had an incredible performance. Yeah, and then him, and then oh crap, I can't think of his name. He fought the big white heavyweight guy. Oh crap, it'll come to me as soon as we hang up, and I'll message it to you. But
are you talking about the one that came out of the one that came out of California, right?
Yeah, I think he did actually.
Yeah, he fought on our Simi Valley show where Jimmy fought the Hitman.
What's his name? You know it off the top of your head?
What was his name?
I want to say it's like Josue or something
Marcus?
like that.
Yeah.
And his last name starts with an M. Anyways, man, so the heavyweight he's undefeated, 5-0, but now, and they had a draw. It was a really good fight. Like, he was cracking and closing that distance on the big white guy. James Turney is the big white guy. Right. Yeah, Turney. And I tell you, like, big white guy, he's a big ass white guy. Like, 6'6".
Yeah.
I think he weighed in at 260, maybe something. He's up there, man. Like, he's big. And man, this little Latino, and I'd say little loosely, he looked little compared to this big white boy. He stood his own in there, man. Good for him. I'd like to see them run that one back. That was a really good fight.
Yeah,
good
I think Josue deserves that. I think he needs that opportunity to come back and get that fight back because it could have went either way. That was huge. Thomas Ornelas Sr.
Oh my God. The TKO low. Did you see the picture I posted in my story?
Yes.
I don't know if you saw that. Man, Tomas Ornelas Sr., he came out. He came out swinging. And I'm not going to lie, like I've watched these guys, up close and personal for the last 2 years. I've watched him grow. Joey Borrero is fantastic. His precision and his ability to work the ring and move, it's phenomenal. But Tomas is just hard to fight because he's hard to hit. He gets so low on you. His knee is almost touching the ground as he's throwing his over right hook. And I mean, he just lands him so clean that Joey didn't know where he was. He didn't know where he was, bro. Like, he's in between the ropes going, what the just happened?
Just watching his title disappear.
Yes, man. And like, I'm not gonna lie, like I was worried for Tomas, he's the shorter of the fighter. He didn't have the reach advantage, so I'm not gonna lie to you guys, like I was a little worried for Tomas. I was like, shit, man, Joey could very easily like win this, and not very easily, but he could win this. It's pretty likely Joey's gonna take this on reach and height advantage alone. And Tomas just came in and he proved not only does he have the cardio, but the precision, the ability to just move and keep you off your game. Like he showed up and showed out, and he won 2 titles that night. It was the ABF and the Colorado State, I believe.
All right. Well, congratulations.
So congratulations to Tomas. He's put in a lot of work. Yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, that sums up our number 22. You guys all be blessed. And I'll say this again one more time for everybody in the boxing world. Boxing saves more lives than it'll ever take. Let's put it this way. Combat sports saves more lives than it will ever take. Anyway, everybody be blessed. You guys have an awesome week. Let's all be successful. It never ends.
Peace.